Hi, welcome to our video tutorial. In this video tutorial, we'll see how to create a new table in our MySQL database being created in the previous lesson. So in our XAMPP control panel, we'll see MySQL admin. So since my port number is being changed from the default, I have to enter it. Now, this is our MySQL database server. So we have already created a student management system database. So when we click on the database, we'll get create table window. So here, enter the table name. Since our database is student management system, our first table should be table student. So let's try that. TBL student will be our table name. And how many number of columns do I want? Let's leave it as the default, and we'll see how are we going to add additional columns when we need them. So after entering table name, let's click go. And now we have an interface for our table. So since we tell it to create 4 columns, it will give me 4 rows for our 4 columns. So first, in the name field, we're supposed to enter, or we should enter, ID as the first column. Its data type should be int. The second one, full name of the student, gender of the student, and then finally birth date. Now we have entered the column names. Now we have to specify data type of each column. ID is integer, that's fine. We want it to be integer. The full name has to be character, right? So we make it varchar, and we have to tell its length. For integer, I don't need to enter any length. It will manage it itself. But for varchar data type, I have to specify the length of characters for full name. So let's say 50, and you make the call based on the environment you are in. So for me, it won't be more than 50. For gender, let's make it varchar and maximum 10. Male, female, not say, or some other options. So let's make it 15, just in case. So birth date, I want it to be date. So this is how we create columns. We have created 4 columns and specified their data type. Now I want the ID column to be a primary key for this table. So what I have to do is, in attributes combo, let's scroll the window. Sure. Index combo, I have to specify it's primary. So okay, now in this window I don't have to change anything, just click go. So now the ID column is a primary key. Also, I want it to be an auto increment, which means it's going to give automatic numbers to this field. I don't want to register, or I don't want to insert any data for the column ID, because I just want it to be primary key. I just want it to be unique for each row, but I don't want to enter any data. I want MySQL to provide the values. So I'll click AI. AI means auto increment. So I'll just check that box. So now we are all set up. Let's go and click on save. You can preview the SQL query being generated. So click on save and our table will be saved. Okay, just ignore all. Now in our database we have a new table. Let's expand that. Columns. So these are the columns we have created. In index we have one primary key index column. So this is how we can create a table. Now let's see how can we modify it. I mean, what if I want to change something on this table? I want to add some column. Okay, so let's click on the table. Then in browse, it's trying to show me any data on the table. If I have inserted, or if any data is inserted in the table, I will see it in the browse tab. But if I want to customize, or if I want to change the database or the table structure, then I have to go for structure tab. And in here, these are my columns, and obviously our ID is a primary key, so we'll see a shiny key here. And in extra, it says auto increment, so our auto increment is also applied. If we are going to change anything on those columns, we can use change, or if you want to drop or delete the column, we can use drop for each column. And if we are going to change the primary key of our table, we can click on primary. If I click on this primary, then the primary key column will be changed or interchanged automatically. Now what I want to do is I want to add an additional column in this table. Let's say grade. It's a student. I have a student table, so each student should have a grade. So let's add a column, one column called grade. So what I'm going to do is at the bottom it will say add one column after birth date. I want it to be after gender and before birth date. So what I'm doing, what I can do is I can say after gender, which means after gender and before birth date. Go. Now the column name I want to add grade. Type is integer, of course. Now nothing else I want to do, so I can just click on save. So my new table is has been already modified. Let's go for structure. Let's click on structure again, and now we have our new table. Grade column is being added after gender column. Okay, this is how we can modify our table, create and modify our table. So by this we'll complete this video tutorial. The next video tutorial we'll see how to insert data and select, update and delete records continuously. So thank you very much for watching our video, and also make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for notifications of our future videos. Thank you very much again.